The galactic archives floated in the void between stars, a monument to 10,000 civilizations and their collective knowledge. Dr. Nancy Chen stood before the crystalline display, her fingers trembling as she examined the ancient artifact that had consumed 3 months of her life. "It's impossible," murmured Kixtro, the Valorian linguist whose 4 eyes blinked in asynchronous confusion. "We've cross-referenced every known language family. Nothing matches." The artifact was a data cube, recovered from a derelict station in the outer reaches. Its surface shimmered with symbols that seemed to shift and dance, refusing to conform to any recognizable pattern. 17 species had attempted translation. All had failed. Nancy leaned closer, her breath fogging the protective barrier. Something about the characters felt familiar, like a word on the tip of her tongue. She'd seen thousands of dead languages during her tenure at the archives. Extinct dialects from worlds long turned to cosmic dust, but this was different. "Run the pattern analysis again," she said. "But this time, ignore the linguistic markers. Look at the structural mathematics." Parker Williams, her research partner, raised an eyebrow from his station across the lab. "Nancy, we've been down that road. The syntax doesn't follow any mathematical progression we recognize. Humor me." Parker's fingers flew across the holographic interface, feeding the symbols through the quantum processor. Numbers cascaded down the screen, building matrices that collapsed into chaos theory. Nancy watched, her mind making connections faster than conscious thought. Then she saw it. "Oh my God," she whispered. "It's not a language." Every head in the laboratory turned toward her. The assembled xenolinguists representing species from across 3 spiral arms stopped their work. "Nancy," Parker crossed to her side. "What do you mean it's not a language?" She pointed at the cube, excitement building in her chest. "It's a cipher, a substitution code. Look at the frequency distribution. It's too perfect, too artificial. Someone deliberately obscured the underlying text." Kixthral's translator clicked with skepticism. "We considered encryption protocols. The mathematical signatures didn't match any known system." "Because you were looking for alien encryption." Nancy's hands moved rapidly, pulling up her personal files. "But what if the species that created this encountered human cryptography?" The implications rippled through the room like a shockwave. Humanity had only joined the galactic community 2 generations ago. The artifact was estimated at over 10,000 years old. "Impossible," declared Thundrel, the expedition lead. His crystalline form refracted light into sharp angles. "Humans barely left their solar system 50 years ago. You weren't even spacefaring when this station was active. I know what the data says." Nancy replied, "But I also know what I'm looking at." "Parker, pull up the historical cryptography database pre-spaceflight Earth, specifically 20th century." Parker hesitated, then complied. Ancient codes flickered to life. Enigma, Navajo Winnikers, What-I'm pads, and dozens of others humanity had developed in its violent adolescence. Nancy's eyes scanned the list, that familiar feeling growing stronger. There, the Vigener cipher. Match it against the cube's pattern. "Nancy, that's just do it," the quantum processor hummed, applying an encryption method that predated human space travel by centuries. The symbols on the cube began to shimmer, shift, reorganize themselves into "by the void." Breathed Kixt Ancient Terran Standard. Unmistakable, undeniable English text, flowing across the display in neat rows. The laboratory erupted in chaos. Impossible theories collided with undeniable evidence. But Nancy wasn't listening. She was reading. "It's a journal," she said quietly. "A ship's log from the Odyssey Protocol." Parker's face went pale. "That's impossible. The Odyssey Protocol is a conspiracy theory. A myth, is it?" Nancy gestured to the text. "Read for yourself." The log detailed a mission launched from Earth in 2087, 18 years before official first contact, 33 years before the formation of the Terran Coalition. A secret mission, buried in classified files, to investigate anomalous signals from deep space. They'd found something, or something had found them. "The translation's incomplete," observed Thundrel, his earlier skepticism replaced with intense curiosity. "There's a reference to additional data, but the code shifts." Nancy scanned the text, finding the notation. "It's referencing another section. For coordinates and mission parameters, check page 6. Page 6 of what? Parker asked. Nancy's fingers were already moving, searching through the artifact's data structure. Not what, where, it's using pre-digital terminology. Page 6 means she accessed the 6th data. Partition. What unfolded before them rewrote everything the galaxy thought. It knew about human history that the Odyssey Protocol had made. Contact with an ancient civilization, one that had seeded technology across multiple worlds, including Earth. The crew had learned something that made them encrypt their findings and hide the station in the outer reaches. Something about humanity's true origin. This can't be released, Thundrel stated flatly. The implications are exactly why it must be released, Nancy interrupted. This is our history, humanity's and possibly dozens of other species. Whatever they found, we have a right to know. Kixthel's translator hummed thoughtfully. The humans solved in hours what we couldn't crack in months. Perhaps that itself is the message. Nancy stared at the flowing text, at the words written by humans who'd ventured into the unknown long before it was deemed possible. The galaxy had assumed humanity was young, naive, late to the cosmic stage. But what if they'd been here all along, just forgotten? There's more encrypted data, Parker said, his voice tight with wonder and fear. Layers upon layers. This could take years to fully decode. Nancy smiled. That familiar feeling finally named, recognition. Not of the language or the code, but of something quintessentially human, the drive to hide knowledge so profound that only someone truly seeking, truly understanding, could find it. Then we'd better get started, she said. Check page 6 was just the beginning. Behind them, the artifact pulsed with light. Ancient human secrets waiting to reshape the galaxy's understanding of itself. And Nancy Chen, standing at the threshold of revelation, knew that humanity's greatest story was only beginning to be told. The archives had kept the secrets of 10,000 civilizations. Now it was time to unlock their own.